Whoa, here we are. What's up? Wow, hang on. First of all, let me adjust. 4 on 6 is here. What's up, man? Shop Monkey's here. Alex is here. Elizabeth's here. I know Jane is here too. 4 on 6. Okay, cool. So what's up, everybody? First of all, I'm gonna do some catching up stuff, and I'm also gonna work on some behind the scenes stuff that I didn't get prepared. For instance, I didn't have the music going that whole time, which is ultra nice. It's a whole music thing that I have that I didn't do. So, tell me what's good with y'all, and we'll go from there. Let me do some adjusting really quickly. Cool. Nothing is working as I would like, which is very cool. So first of all, channel members, if you will post in chat right now, in the general chat in Discord, I see some of you are on right now. If you will post there and tell me if you'd like to be called today or not, that'd be great. I'm going to go back to this really quickly because this is messing up, which is very nice. Very cool. Shot Monkey, I can hear you at least. With the last stream, so with the last stream I had on those pink headphones, and this thing barely reached my mouth, which is, say what you will. So today, very cool. So today I've got some Final Fantasy IV facts. I've discovered something recently about FF4 that I did not know. And so I thought I would present it to you in almost like a video format. But we'll see how that goes. Okay. I'm in general chat now on the Discord. So if you will post there, and if you would like to be called, tell me that. And if you don't want to be called, tell me that too. Sweet. So what are we at? 6. Cool. I don't know. This will be kind of a quick. Well, it'll be a normal link stream. I don't know if I'm gonna have a members only stream today because our toilet is getting fixed, and so we're gonna have a fella over here around about the time that the members only stream would start. So I don't know that I'll have one. I know I'm looking in general chat now. I know that I believe Mindless Meat is gonna be not here today, which is all right. I hope he's doing well at least. Shop Monkey in general chat. Okay. Cool. I got you. Well, good news. Let me go back to this. Bring Toilet Man on stream. I don't know if he's the streaming type of fella. Maybe. I'll ask and see what he thinks. So I'm going to switch over on my device here to this, where I can read a bunch of stuff. And basically I'll be making just kind of similar to how I did it last week, where I made a video while I was streaming. So I'm going to do a very similar thing today. Very cool. So what's up with everybody? How's everybody doing? I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row. I can actually I'll text him right now and see if he wants to be on stream. And see what he says. Hey man, just thought I'd ask. Link's here. What's happening? Just thought I'd ask. Do you feel like being on my live stream? whilst working on my toilet. He's going to say no. I have a feeling. So as you can see, so the problem is not that it's clogged. I can deal with that. It's that I don't want to say too much, but it's falling through the floor, which is very nice. So I sent him a text message. We'll see if he responds to that. And if not, then I'll just have my toilet fixed, and that'll be that. And I might pop in for maybe 10 minutes and just kind of say what's up and all that jazz, but I don't know. So I've got all this stuff ready. I got this ready. I got that ready. Cool. Everybody's here. It's wet in all the wrong places. Yeah, pretty much. So we had someone come out, it was sometime last year, and fix our toilet, and this fellow said, well, you're all good to go, and it held up for I forget how long, and it started rocking again, and then it eventually fell back to the floor. And so when wanting to contact that fellow, because he told me that if it would start falling to the floor or break again, to give him a call. So I went to do that, and my dad told me, don't call him again because he stole money from me and now he's not in town at all. And then I started seeing like Facebook posts about, don't contact this person, he'll steal money from you and leave town. That's exactly what he did. And so that Elizabeth, for about a day and a half. Yeah, it worked for a little while. Super Dad is here. Holy moly. Calm down, guys. I'm here now. I'm super glad that you're here. Whoa. So yeah, that's the story of the toilet, and it's been very strange. Link, wow, dude, thanks. That's fantastic. So wow, since you're a member now, cool. You can go into the community post on the channel and find the Discord link there. Hop in. It's I stop in from time to time and say hello, and it's pretty neat. Not as often as I probably should, but I stop in there from time to time. And everybody in there's super nice and posting all sorts of fun things. So go check that out. Link, thanks again, man. That's fantastic. So cool. Super Dad, what's happening with you, man? I haven't talked to you in a little while. How's everything going with married life? Super Dad got married recently. Man. So, okay, while you're answering that, I found some stuff on Final Fantasy 4 that kind of opened my eyes to everything and made me realize. So, and I'll get into it, but like we've all seen that photo of like the Final Fantasy 4, the canceled version for NES. And there was screenshots of it floating around for a little while, and basically the producers said that there was never really any work done on it and that it was sort of canceled very early. Well, I got a general timeline for how things worked. And so I'm going to go through that. And basically I'm just going to read it as if I'm like doing a voiceover for my channel. The videos that you've seen. And then next Monday, this video that I'm filming now will come out. And there's a video coming out tomorrow that I think people will enjoy. The members have already seen it, which is very cool. Super Dad, just bringing in groceries. Married life is good, man. Thank you, dude. I'm super happy for you. We brought in groceries yesterday, and that was. It is what it is. Lost my Discord account, but I'll create a new one and pop in when I can. Fantastic, dude. No pressure at all. That's just something fun that we do from time to time. And So for instance, right now I'm in general chat now, just sort of looking around, and just lots of folks hanging out, talking about Final Fantasy stuff. Like for instance, 16 came out. Final Fantasy 16 came out. So some folks have been talking about that, and so I don't know. That's what happens in there. FF4 is such a masterpiece in its finished form. It was the one where I felt they were truly competing with the Dragon Quest series. Yeah. So it turns out that Sakaguchi was very aware of like games coming out at the time and how much he wanted to actually compete with them over the course of time. And yeah, man, it's a very good game. I can't say anything to do it justice right now, but it's wonderful. Got our house locked in. Just went and saw that foundation being put in. Awesome. So we've been buying new house amenities. Robot vacuum for half off. Walmart has them on sale. Fantastic, dude. Congratulations with all that stuff, man. I know it's like I know it's super. I don't know. There's a lot to do, but also it's very exciting at the same time. So congrats, brother. I'm going back through 4.2, so I had to jump on this stream. I think that the Shorto's here. Well, hello, the Short. Good afternoon, returners. A good afternoon to you, the Shorto. By the way, the Shorto, I've got a question for you. I saw on Reddit you posted the I haven't checked on it lately, but I saw on Reddit where you posted the channel. Dude, that's so heavily appreciated. I'm trying to get, like I said, I'm trying to get more eyes on the channel. And that kind of stuff certainly helps, and I'm never going to be angry about that. So thanks for that. Yeah, Final Fantasy 4. So Link, Final Fantasy 4 is so good. I always recommend it as someone's first FF game. I always say 10. And that's why I made that video where people are very angry at me in the video that came after it, because it's a long story. But I always recommend 10 first, and if they like the slower paced combat, then I have them go backwards through the classics, 4, 5, and 6, 9, 7, of course. But if they like more sort of fast-paced battle, then I can recommend things moving forward, 12, 13, 15. If they like MMOs, I can do 14 and 11. But I saw on YouTube Shorts someone that said, we don't talk about 11. I don't know why. I think it's fine. Man, okay. All right, first of all, to me, it's warm in here. To Elizabeth, it probably feels very cool. FF4 is great. I'm going to go through here real quick and see if there's any fun stuff. Yes, sir, happy to help. I just see the effort you put into the channel, your content. Want to help spread the word. Cheers, bro. Cheers to you also with my Coke Zero Walmart ripoff. Actually, right now, the effort that I'm putting into the channel is like 10 times higher than it's ever been. And I'm really trying to get, I don't want to say too much. Members know kind of what's happening, but ultimately, I'm trying to get up there with the likes of Final Fantasy Union and maybe surpass them. This is a challenge. Final Fantasy Union. You're destroying me as far as YouTube analytics and stats, but give me time. Give me some time. It's a little cool. Yeah, I figured for you it's a little cool. Right now, I'm a sweaty man. I loved playing FF2 on the SNES and reading the walkthrough in the manual. Just loved the lore and storytelling. It's a great game, and it kind of... I pointed this out in another video, and also, just in case, I'm glad you're here. I pointed it out in another video, but I really feel as if Final Fantasy IV set the standard, and so it now when you play it, having played it retroactively, if you go back and play it now, it seems very old hat. It seems very stereotypical, and that's because it sets so many standards for what RPGs should be. That's my take on it anyway. And I don't know. I love that game a lot, and I feel like the PSP version's very good. But I'm very happy with the pixel remaster of it too. I remember seeing my aunt and cousin playing Final Fantasy 4 on the SNES and Final Fantasy 6. I'm glad that you're here. First of all, your story sounds, what you've typed in chat, your story sounds very similar to mine. There's a fella in chat right now called Super Dad, and he got me into the series. And his mom would play it, Final Fantasy 6. I don't know if she played 4 or not, but kind of the same idea. I went over to his house when we were very young, back in 92, and saw this weird game he was playing, and I have loved it ever since. Kawaii. I'm glad you're here. So soon enough, I'll switch over and start doing the facts, because it's a longer set of facts than I realized. They ramped up the storytelling so much with 4. One of the first games I remember getting all emotional over. Sure, and I think it was designed using storytelling aspects to do exactly that. Because, I mean, if you have an emotional connection to something, you're going to love it more so than if it was just a fun experience. Cool. I'm going to try to do this right. I've been kind of freaking out about this, but we'll do it. My older brothers got me into FF4 and 6. 4 on 6, fantastic. Is that... I don't want to ask too much, but... 4 on 6. My older brothers got me into 4 and 6. Is there some kind of connection there, sir? My aunt would also play 7. I have a funny story with 7 that I'll tell at a different time. I turned in 20 NES games into Babbage's to be able to get it because my aunt had it and I wanted it so badly. Babbage's turned into GameStop. For those of you who aren't old. Yeah. The thing is, Super Dad, I never went to Babbage's on my own. In fact, I never went to Babbage's at all. But I remember hearing you talk about it so much that it became like this mystical land of sweet video game action that I never got to visit. And then it closed and turned into something else. And I was very sad. But there are still photos of Babbage's if you do some Google imaging. Coincidentally, 4 on 6 is a Wes Montgomery song. I love Wes Montgomery. He's very smooth on a guitar with his like octave work. Oh man, whatever happened? It's EB Games. I'm not sure what happened. Not sure. I'm sure GameStop like cornered the market and had a monopoly over game stores. I feel like I'll have to look that up. I'm not 100% for sure. Did EB get bought up by GameStop? Is that what happened? They really had a monopoly on him to be bought out. It's sort of like Square right now buying out a whole bunch of developers. Electronic Boutique and EB were the same. They are. Thought I'd heard that. Yeah, I don't know. Super Dad knows way more about that stuff than I do. I don't know too much about the business side. I used to visit. There was an EB Games not too far from where I lived in the suburbs of Chicago. And there was an EB Games, a GameStop, and a Family Video in the same like strip mall. And they all were terrible, and that's why they all closed there. Used to be a retro game store in Iowa where I lived called Gamers. I'll have to look it up. There's another fella. Hold on. There's another fella that's I don't think is here right now who also lives in Iowa. So I wonder if he would remember Gamers or Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and also Microsoft also bought Rare, I believe, and that's why I like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts came out. It's all very silly. Just make good games, man. That's all. I don't care who puts them out. Just make them. But do it right. Nuts and Bolts. Looking at you. I've only played the first one. I don't know too much. I've heard Banjo-Tooie is good, though. I don't know a whole lot about it. This desk is very wobbly. It doesn't seem very wobbly until I go to do something. And Bethesda, yeah. Buying out and Square bought out. several. I can't remember now. I think they had a thing with, gosh, Eidos Interactive. I don't remember now. Sweet. So, I'm going to try to do some fast facts real quick before I jump in. Playing Skyrim on your Switch right now. Fantastic. That Skyrim is out for so many consoles right now. And it's well deserved. Based on what I hear. I've tried to play Skyrim so many times. I don't think it's a bad game at all. I think it's a very good game. I just think it's not necessarily made for me. I want to get into it, and maybe I just didn't give it a big enough chance. No fast facts. I'll just have to read it like a boring person. So I'll have to get rid of Chatbox for a while I do this. Which is fine. I can still see your sweet words. I'm going to check back on... We need it for TI-83. I'm sure someone somewhere has made it. Shot Monkey's down for a call. Okay. Alright, and Shot Monkey, before I make the call, or before the call will be on stream, I'll give you a call and we'll sort of talk for a second, and then we'll be live. That's what I did with Mindless Meat last week anyway. I fell out of a window on Assassin's Creed, I think, and never played it again. I wish Skyrim could have been... Oh, I can't see because there's a weird thing in the way. Oh, the VR2. Yeah. Because it is first person, although I think you can do like a third person camera switch. First of all, John, I'm glad you're here. So... Since it is first person, I feel like I would probably play it. I don't know, if I had the time to really sink into it, I would play it more. But I don't. I'm working on this channel all the time, and I work a lot. So there's that. So, Shot Monkey. Hang on, let me go back into... Hold on. Mindless Meat is on in Discord. But I don't know if he's on stream right now. Live stream Super Mario RPG Remake in November. You better believe it. I'm so excited for that game. No Saurians here. Hello, everyone playing FF4 with All Thief Party. So it's very interesting that you say that. Because I have a video coming out tomorrow that deals with FF1 setups. So that'll be right up your alley, I think. How's the new job? Dude, I love the new job. Every day goes by super fast, and I don't realize it. And I adore it, man. And actually, here in the next probably couple of months, I'll start traveling during the week and like flying out to different states to do work-related things. We're making plans now for the first trip out, and I've never flown, so, but I'm excited to do it. I think it'd be a really cool thing to do. It's just like travel all the time and get to eat dinners at really nice places, and I don't have to pay for anything. That's ultra exciting. So there's that. All right, cool. All Thief Party. I have to, looking forward to it. I have to ask, no sorry, and how's that going so far? Where are you at in FF1 with your All Thief Party? Let's ask that question because I'm very curious. And also, how difficult is it? And are you hilariously over leveled at this point, or how are you having a difficult time with it? I'm only asking for research on a video I've already put together. Played an offline version of 4-Job Fiesta without the bot randomizer. How did that go? I've been looking off and on at the 4-Job Fiesta, and I'm kind of curious about it. Can't wait for Mario RPG. I had a fun little freak out when I saw the trailer. I almost wept tears of joy when the trailer came out. If you've never flown, just try something that calms you down. I'm not really nervous about it. It's more, I'm actually really excited. I was nervous whenever the opportunity first got presented, but I'm actually more excited about it than I am nervous about it, because people I know have flown and they all love it or say it's all right. I haven't heard too many terrible stories. I guess you wouldn't if a plane crashes, but I'm not too concerned. I'm actually more stoked about it than I am scared. I just want to do it. I wish it were like tomorrow, because I can just say I've done it. GBA version, yeah, I'm over level 30. I had a hard time with Lich, but after that it was all downstream. Yeah, that's like the first hurdle of the game to really get over, is in the Earth Cavern. First of all, the Earth Cavern is so long, and you have to visit it twice. So yeah, I could definitely see that. And also level 30 by the time you get to Earth Cavern, yeah. The Dawn of Souls version's a little bit more forgiving. So is the Pixel Remaster version, though. It's a tiny bit more forgiving. Way more forgiving than the NES version. Which is terrifying, but I don't know if I could do an all-thief party in the NES version and not have a complete mental breakdown in the process. Sweet. I'm going to get everything geared up for this Final Fantasy IV Facts situation. And as I said, I'm basically just going to film a video and read a bunch of stuff. And I've got some sort of things ready for screenshots that I've found, various things like that. I already turned them into ninjas, is the point I am now. Oh, wow. I'm curious as to how you did that. Did you go... hold on. Did you go to... What is the place called? I can't even think of the name of the place now. But did you get the canoe before you went to the Earth Cavern? I'm curious as to how that worked out. Or did you go straight to Citadel of Trials? But I don't know how you can get through there. Tell me the logistics of how you did that, because I'm very curious. The Shorto, my first flight was heading to boot camp in San Diego at 18. Would not recommend. Okay. The boot camp or the flight? What would you think if Chrono Trigger was remade in 2D HD style, a la Octopath Traveler? I would adore it, but I also don't know if it needs to be touched in such a way. Because I think Octopath Traveler is a gorgeous game. And I've been debating back and forth whether I'd like to see a Final Fantasy VI remake in that style. And ultimately, I don't know. I would check it out, I guess. And if I really like... It would be one of those things that I would have to play it. I think the idea is really neat. And I would be curious as to how they would do certain aspects of the game in the 2D HD style. I don't know. Maybe I'd love it. But I think Chrono Trigger is just a beautiful game anyway. Boot camp. Flying is fun. Yeah. I will try to stay out of boot camp as much as I can. I went to the Earth Cavern first. I just went for the rat tail, and then... Wait a minute. I have to remember... Oh, you're at... Okay, never mind. I'm a silly man, and I can never... Okay. Apparently Square... I'm just... I can't think straight when I'm doing these things. Apparently Square is planning on a bunch of remakes. Or at least that's the buzz. I had heard about a Final Fantasy IX remake, and I'm ultra excited about that. Final Fantasy IV is my favorite game of all time. I think I know everything to the game. I'd love to hear your facts. John, I hope that you're satisfied with the facts that I found. It's basically revolving around the the fact that the Final Fantasy IV that we got was titled Final Fantasy V, and I have a rough timeline as to when that switched, and also how much development was done on the unreleased version of Final Fantasy IV that was going to be for NES, but was scrapped. I've got some stuff about that. That's what it sort of primarily revolves around. So there's that. FF9 needs a pixel remaster. Shop Monkey, how would that happen? I'm curious to see. I've seen it done on like YouTube things, and people are like, "Oh, I remade FF9 in RPG Maker." Those are neat if they're done right, but I've seen some that are not done right. Okay, so I'm going to switch up, and we're going to get started on this video. So, let me adjust everything again for the third time. Remake it like FF6. I would play it. I don't know if it would sell super well, but maybe it would. I don't know. So I'm going to get geared up for this thing and figure out exactly how I'm doing it. I know I'm going to have to turn this off and this off and hope that it's not actually in scene. Although I guess I kind of wouldn't mind that it was. Okay, anyway, we're going to get started. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to be right back, and then we're going to get started on the facts business. So there's that. All right, I've got a rough idea of how it's going to go. Okay, this is all very silly. All right, so I'm going to switch over to this here screen right here. This is an article that I found. Hold on. Also, no, I'm not going to do that. Final Fantasy IV development cancellation notice sent out on February 22nd, 1991. What? FF5 is now going to be FF4? Yes, that's right. Brace yourself for what you're about to read. This is a notice that was put out in Famitsu magazine to its readers, stating that Final Fantasy IV was canceled. For many years, we've all seen... Oh, let me not do that. Hang on. Let me go back to here. For many years, we've all seen this screenshot of an unreleased Final Fantasy IV. But it's always been said that this was purely a mock-up and that no work was actually done on the game. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. I'm going to answer some. You ever seen Final Fantasy IV playing with... Oh, I meant to... Oh, I'll snip it out later. It'll be fine. Final Fantasy IV playing with a Google Translations? No. I would do that. There was a stream by Clyde from Legend of... No, I've never seen that. I'll have to look that up. I'll forget. FF9 Pixel Remaster, good idea. Like a demake? That could be incredible. I would play it. 100% would play it. Bum, 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 bum. I've got to film this line real quick. I've totally lost where I'm at in the script, so that's... But I've found an interview that really states otherwise. This doesn't help the already crazy Final Fantasy numbering situation at all. Alright, we're going to get into the facts. Very excited. So, I don't have anything to write with at the moment. It's all in this room over here. Fax times. So in November 1990, in the same magazine, an interview was held with the father of the series, Hironobu Sakaguchi. In this interview, it was asked straight away if Final Fantasy V was going to be released before Final Fantasy IV, and Sakaguchi confirmed this, stating that there is no release date planned, but the development is moving forward. I put 2 pens on your desk, but I'm at your desk. I see no pens, but I'm also blind. My daughters and I have been into perler beads. Oh, yeah. They're perfect for 16-bit art. I've made Terra, Terramorph, Ultra, Shadow, Interceptor, and Mog so far. Awesome. I thought I had a set of them around, but I don't know where they're at. He went on to say that after Final Fantasy III, Square started 4 and 5 at the same time. One developed using the Famicom, and the other using the new console known as the Super Famicom. And despite having used the Famicom for the development of nearly every Square game up to this point, the Super Famicom game was coming along faster. This was because when Square noticed marketing trends, essentially the entirety of Square's staff switched to working on Final Fantasy IV, which was known as Final Fantasy V at the time. There isn't much more to this particular interview, but nearly 2 months later, another interview was printed in its pages. This time featuring Sakaguchi as well as now legendary series composer Nobuo Uematsu. If it were done in Octopath style, I'd be down too. Did they do Live in 2.5D? I didn't pick it up, so I don't know if they did or not. Surely, I think some of it's done. Or is it? I believe you're right. I think the whole thing is done in the 2D HD or whatever it's called. The Shorto, I love the Terra sprites. I'm really glad that those are there. In this interview, I can't speak, it's fine. In this interview, they banter back and forth about the final dungeon of Final Fantasy III and how difficult it was. And how Square received letters from fans saying that it was a horrible idea to make the final dungeon as long as it was. Ever the optimist, Uematsu says that ultimately, the more you struggle with something, the more satisfying it is when you do finally make it through the entirety of something. But that they've never been bashed quite that hard before. Using this feedback, they took into account when they were working on Final Fantasy IV. Oh, I missaid a line, that's fine. Using this feedback, they took it into account when they were working on Final Fantasy IV, which was still known as Final Fantasy V at this point. They said that there will be recovery points and save points peppered throughout different places, and in doing so, the final dungeon was going to be incredibly long. When asked about the story of Final Fantasy V, they opened up a lot, saying that they really wanted a lot of loving elements to be included this time, and that they wanted all of the characters to grab the players emotionally, which kind of feeds into what we were talking about earlier. If you have like an emotional connection to something, you'll love it more than if it's just fun. So, and I mean, this interview is from 1991, so they were very evident of it, and like how it could play into, I don't know, psychology? I don't know. To illustrate this point, Sakaguchi explained this further by saying something about Coke Zero giving you hiccups. Very good. For example, say you reach a certain area with your party nearly wiped out, and in that moment we throw a boss fight at you. But one that's balanced for the party's current weakened state. I'm hoping we can prepare a lot of scenes like this. Stuff that's custom tailored to the psychological moment of the story. Notice something off. The Famicom title, known as Final Fantasy IV at the time, isn't even brought up once, except for mentioning it except for mentioning it back in November. Sometimes I have problems enunciating words when I'm doing these voiceovers. And a little less than a month later, the game was completely canceled. As we explained previously, Square had been developing the Famicom Final Fantasy IV and the Super Famicom Final Fantasy V concurrently. Because a single game at Square takes, on average... Wait, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that was at the time. It took... I'm trying to, like, actively fix this script on the fly. But anyway. Because a single game at Square takes, on average, over 18 months of development, we are always carefully monitoring product quality. Whoops. My lord. We concluded at the end of last year that a Famicom version of Final Fantasy IV would meet our high standards of excellence and would not bring shame to the Final Fantasy franchise. Good gravy. Almost done. This is funny because towards the end of the interview in December, Uematsu said that if they were indeed doing a Final Fantasy V, they didn't want to just make a half-hearted attempt. Fun fact, he didn't say half-hearted in the interview. I'm not going to repeat what he said, but Japanese folks, they like their swear words. He noted that in earlier games, the developers always wanted to change something about... I can't type either. Apparently, I can't read and type and write scripts. The developers always wanted to change something about it, and they wanted this Super Famicom game to be as close as perfect as they wanted. So it makes complete sense, given the official press statement of cancellation, that they scrapped it. I don't think that it's actually true that the unreleased version of Final Fantasy IV was never programmed or anything. I really think there must have been something planned. In November 1990, Sakaguchi said that they were working on Final Fantasy IV and V at the same time. The end of development for Final Fantasy III was well before the April release date, I'm sure. So was there a small break period and then maybe in late summer, Final Fantasy IV and V development began? If that's the case, then there should have... What? If that's the case, then there should have been at least a 4 or 5 month... Dude, I can't talk. If that's the case, then there should have been at least 4 to 5 months worth of work done on both titles. And if we go back to the cancellation press release, each game took about 18 months to make at that time. So a good chunk of the games must have been... What? Okay. So a good chunk of the games must have been finished. But of course, this is all speculation. And if you love speculation, then you'll love this playlist. And if you hate speculation, then sorry. So like I said, that whole video kind of goes around the fact that 4 was going to be 5 originally. And kind of a rough timeline as to when it all... And I'm going to have visuals put on top of it so it better illustrates what's happening. And that's that. And now I'm going to make a video out of that. So you essentially know an entire video at this point. So that's fun. And doing those voiceovers makes my voice hurt. And I wish I had more beverages, but I don't. Cool. All right, I'm going to head over to Discord really quickly. I'm going to type a little something in there. All right. We're good. So yeah, that's what I'd read. That in the matter of like 2 or 3 months or something. What was going to be the NES version of Final Fantasy VI. I'm sorry, Final Fantasy V. I don't even remember what I was saying. I read this comment. So 4 is 5 and 6 never got made. at all. I'm sorry, wait. So 4 is 5, and 4 never got made at all. Yeah. So there were screenshots. In fact, I'll go back to it right now. I'm going to switch this. Okay, I'm already on it. So I'm going to switch this back over to this screen. And you can see, and let me zoom in. So you can see, you can kind of see, so this is a Japanese article, but there's a translated one also. And ultimately, they have these screenshots. This screenshot here is of the unreleased Final Fantasy IV. And basically, there's an airship here and a little airship shop where you can buy airships, I guess. That was something that you could do based on some of the text around. You could buy airships, but I don't know what this other shop over here is. But in reality, there were a lot of things that said that development never even started on that particular Final Fantasy game. But apparently, via this article, there was a little bit. Because they were working on the title at the same time as what ended up being 4. So 4 was going to be an NES game. Yes. And I don't know if any story points were ever made. I would also like to know if there was any music made for it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to really quickly try to find the translated version. Oh, I have it here. Gosh. All right, let's go through this. Hang on. Let me zoom this in really quickly. I don't know what just happened, but that's fine. So we'll go through this. We'll go through this article. We'll go through this article together. I don't think it was common that they use some sort of made-up screenshots on zines. Yeah, because it's not the first time I've seen that practice come up. Yeah, so that's kind of the belief was that it was a mock-up of a screenshot. But according to this article, they had work done on it because they were developing it. Like I said in the thing, they finished. I'm sorry, Final Fantasy III came out in April of 1990. And typically they finish those a few months before release, maybe. I'm going to say a month at least. And so they finished it in March. So by November, they were saying that they were working on both games at the same time. Surely there was something done on it. And then they quit it and kept going with what ended up being Final Fantasy IV. But I have that translated screenshot. Hang on. Let's switch this back over, shall we? So I have this here translated fella. Even more jobs and airships. This translation right here is there's an airship shop in this town. An array of surviving airships from the past are here. And I don't know what any of that means. These airships are part of the many vehicles in Final Fantasy. In 4, the airship shop finally makes its appearance. Famous airships from 2 and 3 are sold here. So, does that mean, I don't know, like the Emperor's airship is sold there? They didn't really have too many names for airships, so I don't know. Dude, I don't know. And then competitors like Enix or Enix was a competitor at the time. I don't know about that. Going through this article, I'll just start from the beginning. Even more jobs and airships. Every time a new game in the Final Fantasy series is released, it uses a new system. In the latest, Part 4, it too introduces a new system that is guaranteed to surprise players. For better or for worse, the dungeons are long as expected. However, save points have been placed inside, which reminds me of what was said in the interview. Save junkies will no longer wander everywhere, or will no doubt wander everywhere. The popular job class is back with even more classes. Magician, priest, cook, and carpenter, among other jobs, make an appearance. Expect the unexpected. The battle system is definitely Final Fantasy as well. You can release doves that blind the enemy, use prayer to make them die, and more. So, here's my entire thing, right? Like, how did this magazine know all this information if there wasn't work already done? All those airships in 3 that got destroyed in 2 minutes. Yeah. With onboard nuclear weapons. Yes, it was supposed to be a huge battle thing that was going to take place that filled up like a third of the screen or something, I read. A cook class. Don't know. And again, how, like, where did this information obviously didn't just spawn out of nowhere. So, dude, I don't know. It's crazy, crazy interesting to me. And that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention, because I think it's interesting. I'm going to switch back now and zoom in. I just saw that there was a chat too, but we'll finish this up. Vehicles are back as well, and it looks like there's finally an airship job class. All previous airships can be bought, plus a new gigantic battleship which fills up 1/3 of the screen. Townspeople will also buy and use airships, so you may get into some mid-air collisions. Sadly, there appears to be no sole ruler of the skies anymore. FF style, a unique battle system, cute characters, and a wealth of items are all back in FF4. So that's looking at that. And I don't know. It's supremely interesting. I think it's supremely interesting. Dragon Quest 3 had a clown class. That's true. I don't know. I kind of wish, going back, I kind of wish that, based off of that description, I want to play this game that never came out. And I had also read something about, oh my gosh, Chrono Trigger's, was it Chrono Trigger? Chrono Trigger's development, where some of the aspects of that game got put into Chrono Trigger. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I don't know, supremely interesting at any rate. So sweet. Let me fix what I've got going on here. So okay, Shop Monkey, you're still here. I'm going to start getting stuff ready for our call, and we'll go over some stuff beforehand, and we'll get this going. So, Shop Monkey, if you'll get in a Discord real quick, I'll go ahead and call you. Oh, hang on. Everything that... Oh, yeah, enemy debuffs as attacks. I hope Final Fantasy 17 is 16-bit. 4 on 6. Okay. I just filmed a video yesterday. Through phone or through Discord. Yeah, I do Discord calls. But 4 on 6, I just filmed a video last night. Sacred Jade's here. I just had a video. I've just filmed a video last night that kind of deals with 16-bit versions of newer games. That video won't be out for a little while, but it kind of goes along with what you're talking about, and so get ready for that one. Actually, I have a release date for it. If I go through, oh, it's in Google Sheets, but that video will come out. Oh boy, it's not out for another month and some change, but it kind of goes along with that idea. Not just the fact that I hope it's 16-bit, but changing some systems around and giving players the option to really customize the game without losing aspects of the story. It's a whole video that I filmed yesterday. It is possible to have a list of ideas for an FF game, and then when the idea is not used in one, definitely apply to the other. Yeah, and that way of development is certainly... You can read about that sort of stuff everywhere. About like the development of Final Fantasy VII having hot-blooded Detective Joe, and then some of that aspects ended up in Parasite Eve. So yeah, it's definitely not a secret that sort of stuff happens. All right, cool. So I'm gonna switch over to the Discord real quick, and then I will be back with a conversation with our own Shop Monkey. Didn't Dragon Quest XI do that? There's a 3D version and a 16-bit version included. I don't know. I would like to play that and see. But anyway, I'll be back in a few, and I'll have Shop Monkey on the line. Sweet. So hang tight. So, I have Shop Monkey on the line. First of all, Shop Monkey, if you'll say something so I can see if it comes through or not.
I am saying something.
Sweet. Good deal. Okay, so everybody welcome Shop Monkey to the call. I have a series of questions that I'm going to ask. First of all, Shop Monkey, favorite Final Fantasy of all time?
Of all time, number 6.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad we're kindred spirits in that sense. Do you have like, what about 6 that makes it your favorite?
I mean, the fact that you have the multiple like character paths and arcs where it's not every single character all together, but you still get to play with what each one's storyline is, as opposed to, well, this person went away and they did a bunch of random crap that was off screen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is your favorite song of any Final Fantasy game from 6? Or is it in another one?
Oh man,
Heavy hitters.
yeah, you're not kidding. I don't know. I think it might have been like the overworld soundtrack from 4 that was always the airship overworld soundtrack.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they called that, but it was just epic, and I think that's the one that I always go back to.
Yeah. Well, 4 had an incredible soundtrack also. And so it's really difficult, even for me now, to pick between the two. Sweet.
Exactly.
So
I used to listen to the soundtracks for like 4, 6, and Chrono Trigger, like the actual SNES style. I don't know what you call that, but it was through I don't know, Winamp, when you could like load those files up.
Yeah.
You just listen to them.
They have those original OSTs on Spotify, like the original SNES version. So
nice.
Yeah, and that's how I listen to it currently.
That's a good idea.
I didn't think that they did until I searched it, and I was like, oh my lord, they actually have like this Super Nintendo sound chips. That's awesome. So, Shop Monkey, I'm diving in a little deeper. Do you have a family of your own at the moment?
As far as like wife, kids, all that, no. I'm single.
Single fella?
Yeah, pretty single. I've had a lot of stuff from my past to clean up, so I've spent the time doing that instead.
And to go along with that, is there anything in life, in your life right now, and this is getting super personal, but like, is there anything in your life right now that you feel like is holding you back at all?
I mean, right now it's the motivation. Getting started is the hardest thing in anything I've ever learned. I had to get forced out of like an old job, whole career, to be fair, before I really decided, hey, you know what? Let's figure out what I really want to do instead of just this path I've been pushed on.
Absolutely. Having just changed careers entirely for me too, like I get that. I get that.
Exactly.
And on the flip side of that, is there anything in life that's pushing you forward?
It's got to be where I work, because after enough jobs in this, I guess you'd call it the new industry, that I've now been doing like 10 years professionally, the boss I've got is one of those, it's like he kind of thinks like a small business owner in the sense of, hey, we're building a team and we want everyone to succeed, but he's got some of the mindset of like larger business, because he's got an investor that is teaching him a lot of this stuff, so he can still see big picture. And he's basically saying, hey, we're in this together. I know this, you know that, and that guy over there knows this, and we have to put all our stuff together. Otherwise, we're not going to succeed.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And is it a vastly different career than you had to be forced out of?
I would say so, because the original career was computer graphics, a lot of commercial stuff. My main focus was building websites that were, basically very user-friendly, not too over-the-top flashy, but enough to get you interested, but not enough to get in your way, like those sites that would just autoplay music at 107 decibels. When it didn't work out between me and my boss in that industry, partly because I didn't have the spine to say no or to negotiate or any of that. I had none of those skills. I just went along with whatever people said. People got mad at me. It's definitely my fault, not something that's their stuff to deal with.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So I left that job, that career, and that state, just saying, you know what? Here's this other thing that after a month of contemplating, I want to go do this now, which is car audio and show systems, the stuff that, if you're at a car show and it actually looks good. If you're in my area, yeah, you might have seen my work.
That's awesome.
I don't know how far reaching it's gotten, but I'm not worried about that. You know, it's just, it's an outlet still for creativity, like I had in designing websites. It's still functional art in essence, but it's also bringing someone else's kind of ideas to life. Like, what do you want your car to look like? You know, let me help you make this vision happen, since I've got the skills and you've got the idea.
Great, yeah. And slap those two together and see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Sweet. And where, you don't have to be too specific, but where are you watching from?
My couch. No, it's north end of Houston, Texas.
Oh, sweet, yeah. Actually, that's where roughly I'll be flying to in a couple of months for my day job.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'll be in that area.
Yeah.
Well, roughly in that area. Probably a couple hours away, but roughly that area. Sweet. So, working in well, hold on. Is there anything that you want to say to everybody? Oh, first of all, Retro Goomba, what's up? I'm glad you're here, Retro Goomba.
What's up, Retro?
I like your profile. It's just legitimately just a Goomba, and I love that. So, is there anything you wanted to say to everybody so far? I know that, dude, you make it to every stream, and like, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And so, if there's anything that you wanted to say to everybody at all, or nothing at all, it's totally fine.
Trying to think of something appropriate. I mean, I'm just happy that we've got a community that's building up right here, and, you know, people that have been here since, you know, you were just a few hundred subscribers, and all the way up to the ones that just showed up. It's like, I know we all appreciate having you here.
Oh man, that's ultra nice. That was my entire goal, was to like, at the time when I first started it was like, if I get 30 views on a video, that's huge. Like, I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a while, it was like, I more so want to make a place where everybody could just go, because there are a ton of Final Fantasy communities already out there. But some of them anyway are very not such a good place to visit, and so I didn't want that.
Toxic discords.
100% yes.
Yeah, I'm a member of one or two of those, and I won't bring that to yours.
Well, I appreciate it, but that was my big thing. I wanted it to be a place where we all could just like, okay, we all clearly love this thing, and I mean, if you look at some of the comment sections on some videos of mine, you can see it bleed through into those toxic places, which I knew would happen. Yeah. I'm not completely blind to that. But at the same time, it was, I want, because growing up, I didn't have friends who played it, with the exception of my cousin, who, I don't know if he's still in chat or not, but him and like one other person was the only people I knew. And so it was like, I'm going to build a place where all these friends can just come hang out no matter where they're from. And so that's still my main focus. Granted, I would like to hit those standard sort of YouTuber milestones, but
you will.
But at the same time, at the end of the day, I would rather have a place where people can go. Hence the title, Returner's Hideout.
Mm-hmm.
Just where we all go. So it's super cool to like put a voice with a name, for me, and I'm having these like members calls. Such a good idea, and that was actually an idea from part of the Returner's Hideout crew that, as a social media manager, was like, why don't you try this call thing? And I think it's been super fun. I've only done it twice, but
yeah. I mean, it involves, you know, the people in the community, and other people get to put a voice to the name, as opposed to just like, he probably sounds like Monkey Sounds.
Yeah. Well, like last week we talked to Mindless Meat, and so far what I've noticed with you and with Mindless Meat are the things that I've noticed. I could sit down and have a conversation with anybody so far, and like, I could just listen to, because I know my story, but I don't know yours. And like, I don't know Mindless Meats, and I don't know 4-on-6s. And so I love this. And so 6 is your favorite game. What is your second favorite Final Fantasy game?
4.
I love
like I said, I mean, four marked the turning point. I played 1 not long after it came out because a friend of ours had parents with money.
Sure.
So it was like he was always bringing games over. You know, we'd get, you know, maybe 1 or 2 games a year if we saved our, you know, money up. And like they'd have like, you know, probably 10 a year easy because him, his brother, and his mom all loved the Super Nintendo and the regular Nintendo before that.
Fantastic.
You know, so yeah, we'd play it basically together is why we just stuck with Final Fantasy. I mean, we were playing Dragon Quest 2, of course, as they came out. But it was like Final Fantasy 1. I remember the grind just to beat the, what was it, Chaos at the end?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And that was fun. And then it was like a while before another one of those games came out, so we played all the Dragon Quest games and stuff and whatever else was big at the time. And then when 4 came out, obviously 2 here in the US, when that hit, it was such a leap forward that it was like, I mean, we were in wonder and awe. You had multiple characters that weren't just insert random class. Each character was fleshed out, even the ones that weren't on screen, a whole lot like the Bard dude.
It was a huge leap between 1 and 2, what ended up being 1 and 4. Yeah. And I remember playing 1 with my cousin Adam, and I played 1 after I played 2, and so to go back retroactively and play it, I was like, whoa, like this isn't, it's, some of the elements are there,
yeah,
but it's much slower, and
it was, yeah, it was brutal. It didn't forgive you.
No, I don't know many NES games that did, though, except for maybe Mario games.
Yeah, those were about it. But they teach you with the level, here's what you do. But
yeah,
if you touch that dude, you're going to
die. Yeah. There are several. Sacred Jade said, plus we got classic lines such as "You spoony bard."
Exactly.
Yeah. All day. And I mean, again, classic storytelling elements. I really feel, and I made a video on this, but I really feel like 4 made RPGs what they are.
They are. You could kind of see it in the less popular Dragon Quest 4. That one I think like the Super Nintendo had already come out, and then I heard about, hey, the Dragon Quest 4, it's really epic, and I'm like, I have to find a copy of that. And I was like, I found it in an ad in some magazine, like one of the gaming magazines. It was like $50, which, what, like 1990, 91? That was expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still, you know, if we talk about the Dragon Quest games, it's like that one was the one that for the longest time was number 1 in my book just because the story was so solid.
And a lot of people, if you look up reviews of DQ4, the game is massive. And yes. I believe 5 and 6 also got really good ratings too.
Yeah, but it took us a while to get 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
That you didn't really see them.
Which is a shame.
I first played them through translations.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I played Final Fantasy V first.
Yep, same here.
Yeah, it was a ROM somebody happened to translate.
Mm-hmm.
And Bart's name was Butts, and it was fantastic. I love it. Jason Bateman just said something in chat, and I can't see it all because of these things that are in the way. I wonder if I can move those. Nope, can't. Hey, dude, just want to say you're doing great work, and your interest and enthusiasm in the content is great. We can tell you are passionate, and we're thankful in how you deliver your videos. My friend, that is ultra nice, and I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad... I don't know how to take compliments. You can ask my wife. I'm the worst at taking compliments. I never know. So, okay. Shop Monkey, I never played DQ4. I never played
Pixel Remaster. You need to play it.
I've got on my Switch 1 through 3, and because of they've re-released them in some way.
Yeah.
And I've played through those, and with each one that came out, I love them more.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I played DQ1, it was like, oh, this is standard RPG fare from 1980, whatever. And then 2 came out, and I was like, I like this a little bit more than the first one. And then 3 was like, I like this more than the second one.
Yes.
And so to see the reviews of 4 and to hear you talk about 4, it's like, I'm really missing out on something.
4 is going to blow your mind.
I'm so excited. I don't even know where I could find 4 at now, besides ROMs.
I mean, that's where I would probably be looking, to be fair, but you know, I haven't looked into alternative places. I should look for legit avenues.
Possibly. I'm going to see. I know that they go for a crazy amount of money right now.
What, the original cartridges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. There's a DS version of it. I don't know if it's for...
That appears to be like basically what you would call a pixel remaster, because the original was regular NES, so it had really blocky graphics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Looks like there's a DS copy of it, which I may look into. Awesome.
Oh, yeah, look into that, because I know that some of the... not to spoil anything, but there was some animations on the final boss, which you don't really get any animations on any of the in-game enemies up until like the final boss.
Wow.
It was like, it just blew our minds, like, the Nintendo can do this.
Yeah. Thomas Harvey's here. Jason Bateman says, might be controversial, but I preferred 8 and 9 over 7. Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy games? There's a huge...
Yeah, because to be fair, in Dragon Quest 7 was... You told me to be appropriate, so I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
It was big and expansive, and I'll give them that, and there was a lot of world lore, but the amount of repetition of like, hey, I've been here 87 times already. What's another time?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it was... It felt like those point-and-click, uncover the clues kind of things that normally have too many ads.
Yeah. I kind of felt, honestly, I kind of felt that way about Dragon Quest 1, where it was like, you started off in this place, and you went to the next place and got a thing, and had to bring it back to the first place.
Yep.
And then you got to go to the furthest place, the next place that's further away from the second place, and bring it back to the first place. And then the fourth place is across the continent, but you got to bring that item back to the first place.
The beginnings of fetch quests.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, it did make use of a world that they could only build so big, so and it's funny, I never really thought about it that way, but I can't unsee it now.
Unfortunately, that's when I played through Dragon Quest 1 on my Switch. I was like, I'm going back to place number 1 an awful lot. And I was like,
Oh, okay, yeah. When you play it that far after, because we played it, I believe you got a copy of Dragon Quest 1 if you got like a year subscription of Nintendo Power at one point back in the day.
Oh,
and
snap.
I believe that's what my friend did. That's what I seem to recall.
Hold on. I have here. Hang on. First of all, Thomas Harvey says, my grandma loved Dragon Quest / Warrior. 4 was her favorite of all time. Watched her play that over and over. I played the DS version. It was great. So, okay, I'll look into the DS version. Yes. Jason Bateman was referring to the Final Fantasy series, which would make sense for the channel. We've been talking about Dragon Quest a lot. Yeah. But I've got one more thing that I'm going to show you about Dragon Quest. Preferred 8 and 9 over 7. That's fine. I prefer 6 over 7. So you're not too far removed from... Plus, it's your opinion, my friend. You can have them. I have here an original inbox of Dragon Warrior, but I've also got like a loose cart also, and I don't know if you can see it on stream yet, but the only thing it doesn't have is the manual, and I'm really upset about that.
Oh man.
But
okay, now you're reaching over in stream to get it.
Okay, great.
Oh yeah.
Let's put that over there.
Memories.
Yeah. I just wish it had the manual is all. But FF8,
I remember the
FF8.
manual was great, and then there was a. Oh wait, I don't remember if there was a map. I remember 4 had a map that I probably still have. As long as it didn't get damaged in storage, because I had the whole box manual map, whatever else came with it that I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had to tape the corners because that was when they were making all their maps out of way too heavy of stock, and like the moment you open it up, you'd get like the rips in the middle along the seams.
Yep. It never failed.
Yeah.
FF8 is awesome too. I love the mature story and characters. I'm actually doing a deep dive of Final Fantasy VIII, Thomas. It won't be for a long time, but I really want to go in deep to that game. Jason says, FF8 was my first Final Fantasy game because my friend had 7, so I wanted the latest after that. Went back and played all the previous FF games. Jason, what's your favorite FF currently? Jason Bateman. And so, Shot Monkey, so we've talked about FF6 being, I mean, the greatest thing ever. And
yeah. I mean, when 7 came out, I thought 7 was the best, like, for several years after, but it was in retrospect that it was like, nah, 6 was still the better game.
That's kind of how it was for me. I sunk so many times into 7 whenever it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, just snowboarding alone, I'm afraid to know how much time I put in.
Oh, yeah, the golden saucer.
Mm-hmm. But years later, I played it, and I was like, the story is interesting, but it's very scattered, and like when you're dealing with Vincent, it's like he's supposed to be this ageless creature, but in the manual, it's like he's 27, and so that was my big deal with it. Was like,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was my really big thing. Where are all these and then the whole thing with Genova, it turns out Professor Gast made a mistake, and Genova's not actually an ancient or etc. And so that story is so convoluted. Like 6's was great and presented well.
Yeah, 6 was polished.
100% yes. And I'm glad it was, because how old was I in 94? I was 10 whenever I got it. So, and I got it in 95. So I was 10. But even at that early age, I remember my mind just being blown. I was like, I didn't know you could cram so much into one game.
Right.
And the music is great. The story's great. I love the characters. Like, the Blitz input thing blew my mind. And like,
oh, yes.
And having Go-Go mimic everybody, I was floored. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. Jason Bateman says, favorite right now. So I haven't played 16, but for 3D Final Fantasy games, it would have to be 15. I love the more open world, and the story is really interesting to me. I'm doing a deep dive in 15 also. Dude, the amount of... I'll show it on stream. The amount of work I'm doing... I'm not going to give specifics. That's the wrong app, Lenard. Let's move on to this one. Favorite 2D... would have to be 6. It was just beautiful. You are correct. So without diving in too much, these are all, each one of these boxes is, it's so hard to explain. It makes sense in my mind, but these are all videos that, not that far. These are all videos that I'm working on. They're very small, but I've got them all the way down to March, I think, planned. And so...
Oh, nice.
Now I'm just, like, trying to make all that happen. There's some shorts in there, too, that I'm experimenting with.
It's good that you've got a plan. I would probably not be so organized.
I was not originally. And I took a lot of time in the last maybe month or so. And just like, if I'm going to do this YouTube channel, I got to do it. And because I didn't release anything for like 2 months. And yeah. And it was like, I can't do that anymore. You know, like if I want this channel to succeed, I have to do something.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what I came up with. And I visited a lot of YouTube workshops and stuff, just trying to get myself prepared.
Nice.
Oh, also, something was brought up in chat. So, Shot Monkey, is it Sabin or Sabin?
For what?
For Final for FF6.
I mean, if you just read it as the Japanese would have read it, it would be Sabin, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it depends on the localization efforts and just what people think. Because if people assume that his name comes from a different, ethnicity or dialect, Sabin may be correct depending on how, Anglicization works.
Yeah.
From that language. So, I think we always called him Sabin.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it's the same spelling.
I always called him Sabin just because it's spelled like cabin. But his Japanese name is Mash, so I wish that we would have kept it.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I see why they would have called him Mash.
Elizabeth says he has 27 plans at all times. That's my wife, and yes, she's very correct. I'm actually started going through, I found like, it must be 6 or 7 notebooks with like scattered ideas. And I'm just now putting them all electronically somewhere so I don't have to dig through all these notebooks.
Nice.
The Shorto says I pronounced Celeste as cells as a kid. So this is going to sound absolutely ludicrous, but like on the channel, I call her Celeste on the channel.
Yeah.
In my personal life, I don't call her anything close to that. I actually call her Seals.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like Kalis or something.
Oh, no, I never even thought about that. But yeah.
Yeah, make her Klingon.
Absolutely. Do you remember the mini console craze? I bought the Ouya.
Yeah, I was at the time not investing in that.
Yeah.
But partly because I'd look at them and it's like, cool, it's got this game. Nope, they missed this one that I really want. It's like, oh, they got this one. Oh, nope, they missed that one.
That's how I feel about the Dragon Quest being remade for Switch. Why didn't they include 4?
I don't know.
It's 1 through 3.
Why don't they just take the DS and port it over?
Even better question. It shouldn't be too difficult of a task.
No.
I bought the Ouya just for the fact that Final Fantasy 3 3D Remake was exclusive for a period of time. I did not know that.
Oh.
That's fancy. That's a fancy boy. I don't know. I've got multiple copies of all of them, but Elizabeth says y'all should hear me trying to pronounce some of the names and places. Yeah. Sometimes she'll go through and try to find like trivia facts, and she'll read me these quizzes, and hilarity ensues. But I think that's the fun part also, is like how you pronounce names versus how I pronounce them. It's all dumb, and like who cares? We're still talking about the same person.
Yeah.
But Seals, she will always be, even though on the channel I call her Celeste.
Yeah, I think I always called her Celeste, but now I'm gonna call her Kalis. She gets a gruff accent.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, I've got Shot Monkey. It's been an absolute pleasure
Same here.
having you on stream. Let me go through my notes one more time and see if there's anything that, if it would load, that would be that'd be great. Sweet. No, like I said before, it's really good to put a voice to a name and to get a little bit of your story out. Because I think there's always these threads that, link us all in some way or another, whether you believe in that sort of thing or not. But like, you're here because you love something.
Yes.
That I love, and we love the same thing that Thomas Harvey loves. And I don't know, we all have stories that may not match up at all. Someone could be a firefighter from, I don't know I don't know where I'm going with that, but regardless, different stories equals different things, but we still love the same thing. And that's massive to me. And so having someone also go through a massive career change that you were talking about, going through a massive career change for me, that's just another one of those links that's like, I don't know. I may not understand like the specific situation that led to that, but like even just the simple fact of changing careers like that can be earth shattering in some ways. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, thank you for sharing a bit of your story. And this will continue. I don't know. For instance, I don't know who's going to want to be called next week, so I might call Mindless Meat. I might call you back. I don't know. I'm just going to play it by ear. But sweet. I want to thank you for being on stream, man. It's massive.
Well, I want to thank you for having me.
And sweet. I'm going to be right back because I think my toilet guy's here. So I'm going to check out that situation. Shot Monkey, have a fantastic day.
Absolutely. You too.
And that was Shop Monkey, everybody. I really think... Jason Bateman, sorry I've got to go, but thanks for your content. You don't have to thank me, man. Thank you for being here and being a fan and being here and a friend and all that sort of stuff. I've got 16 things happening right now. Looking forward to the mountain of videos you have planned for this foreseeable. So many. It's stupid. I had been mispronouncing Evilise for a decade until 12 came out and heard it spoken for the first time. Was like, yeah, that sounds much prettier than how... I don't remember how I pronounced it beforehand. Ivilis? I don't remember. This is a great conversation. Great job, you two. Yeah, Shot Monkey did awesome. I am going to go check at my door because my toilet guy is here, I think. So I'm going to go do that. I'll let you guys know what's happening. Give me just like a second. All right, my friend is here to fix the toilet. So I'm going to cut this short. Members, I may not have a stream after this. I'll send some sort of update in Discord. But I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. And Shop Monkey, awesome again. Good conversation. That's